Thank you for listening to Pow Block Podcast, the flagship Nintendo podcast of Boss Rush Network. Do you need even more gaming and entertainment in your life? Head over to bossrush.net where you can find news, reviews, creators, podcasts, and more focused around the content you enjoy.
Hello everybody, welcome to Nintendo Pow Block here on Boss Rush Network. I'm your host, the enlightened, excited Eddie V. Joining me is the gallivanting Gallatran himself, Mr. Jacob Taylor.
Hey Ed, I have a question for you. Why does Dracula always come back to fight the Belmonts?
I don't know, Jacob, why?
Because when you kill a vampire, they always fight back.
Oh, good googly boogly. Yes. Also joining us is the Gutter Hunter himself, the PC Master Race, host of Crossroads on his channel Exodus 803, and on Tuesdays at 7 p.m., 8 p.m. I'm about to say 7 a.m. Ooh, good googly boogly.
Not that early.
That's a little bit too early. On Tuesdays, it's the one, the only, my good friend, Mr. LeRon Dawkins. Hello, good sir.
Hello, everyone. And no, I am not going to lead into my segment with a dad joke. I'm sorry.
The dad jokes are great, though. I love them.
Even though I'm old enough to be a dad, I don't know any dad jokes. And I can't come up with them on the fly. And I think that's the magic of a dad joke.
Yeah. Well, I didn't come up that on the fly, but I did come up with it while I was showering right before the podcast. So kind of.
Nice.
But of course, hey everybody out there. As I always say, what's popping?
Yes. How was everybody's weekend? LeRon, how was your weekend?
My weekend was kind of I'm not gonna say lazy, but it was really low key and laid back. I did have a work project that I had to do over the weekend for people who don't know, like I had, like, my day job is IT and stuff like that, so I had to actually not repair, but I basically had to rebuild Windows on a client's computer and have it back to them first thing in the morning on Monday. So that was actually I've gotten so good at that I can have the operating system back on there, fully optimized, put all their programs and stuff on there, sync all their data and all that stuff. I can do that in less than the span of like one day. So it doesn't take the whole weekend for me to do it. I just procrastinate and wait until the last damn minute on Sundays to do it. And then, but beyond that, I live not too far from a nature park here where I live at in Virginia called the Sandy Bottom Nature Park. And my boyfriend and I actually we did a 4-mile trek of that yesterday evening, which was fun. Actually, I did like 5 miles because I actually walked from my house to the nature park, and that was about 1.6 miles, and then we did another 3 miles in there.
Nice.
Of running.
No. Okay. Oh no, I don't trail run. Oh no.
Just
no.
casually walking, enjoying the world around you. Yep. That's
like I don't trail run. No. Trail running and me do not. I'll run, but I'm not gonna run on trails. Like the terrain is just too much. Like I don't have that runner's gift where they know how to like control their footfalls and make sure their ankle never rolls and all that crap. And plus, like, I'm always staring at the ground looking for tree roots sticking up. I don't trail run. No.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Jacob, how was your weekend?
My weekend was a lot of fun. Becca was here this past 3 weeks. She actually left on Sunday, so that was a little sad. But on Saturday we went out and just kind of had a blast. We had breakfast at Taco Bell because she loves Taco Bell breakfast. And then we went shopping at a bunch of different old school game stores and like just nerdy card stores and things like that. We also went to a Pokemon store that had a bunch of Pokemon plushes, and I was gonna buy an Entei plush because I have a lot of like Raichu and Mew plushes because those are my two favorite Pokemon. But I was like, I need to collect more. I need to collect some more Pokemon plushes. So I was gonna buy an Entei one because it was like a smaller Entei plush, and like it was surrounded by all of these other plushes that were like $20-$25, which is a decent price for especially like a Pokemon plushie that's already licensed and really expensive. But I asked the guy to pull it out of the case that it was in with all the other ones, and he was like, "Oh, well, just so you know, that one's $50 for it was like this size." It was barely the size of my hand, and he was like, "It's $50," and so I had to turn that down. But other than that, it's been okay. Like I said, it was a little sad because Becca had to drive back to Tennessee on Sunday, but it's been okay for the most part. But what about you, Ed? How was your weekend?
Outside of working and dealing with the craziness of that whole googly woogly, I actually was listening to Janet Jackson's "The Velvet Rope" on my walk, and man, it's still such a classic album. It's still like a no skip album, and just listening to it, I'm like, man, I remember hearing this album in high school because I got it for my birth. I got it when it came out, um, and I just remember just listening to that CD over and over again. So listening to it on the weekend, I was just like, yeah. And then just listening to some chill hop on Switch with the headphones, like I did it. Like I think I told LeRon this. I keep talking about the Bluetooth audio on Switch and these Sony headphones. Man, it's the best $130 I invested in.
Nice.
Like it's so crystal clear, and it kind of got me thinking, and that's gonna be playing a part in Doc mode, that I cannot wait to hear the smug on Metroid Dread.
Dude,
Like
know.
I got to hear the sound, and this is the one thing that I wish Nintendo and Sony were still together about. Because Sony did their sound chip for the Super Nintendo. Just think if they were still in business, what Sony could do for Switch with their sound chip.
So many people have flubbed on partnerships with Sony.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nintendo screwed up, of course, and then Sega screwed up twice after that. Sega had two opportunities, and I can't remember all the details, but the current Sega of America heads two different ones, so two different console cycles. Was like, hey, Sony's looking for a partner. We should think about this. And Sega of Japan was just like, nah, we're doing our own thing and stuff like that. Sega. There could have been a PlayStation, there could have been a Sega PlayStation system at some point, like it would have happened between the Saturn and the I want to say the Saturn and Dreamcast. That was their last chance. That was their last chance.
Could it have been called the Dream Station?
The Dream Station, that would have been cool. but yeah, so I mean like these companies slept on Sony, and now Sony's like a competitor.
Yeah, and I when we past episodes when we talk about Sony,
actually Sega screwed up a couple of Sega screwed up again too, because during the Dreamcast cycle, if you guys remember, like in some of your games you boot up, it said powered by Windows CE.
Yeah,
like Sega and Microsoft were working on a partnership, and Sega like walked away from that.
Yeah, because they were going to do their own live structure on it, I think. Because Fantasy Star Online started on Dreamcast.
Yep.
And I think Half-Life was going to have it. There was going to be Half-Life got delayed for the Dreamcast, and it never came out because Jesse got the demo of it.
The big one that blew people's minds for coming to consoles was Quake. Like nobody expected a game like Quake to show up on a console, and it showed up on the Dreamcast.
Yeah. So, but yeah, once again, I feel like Sony is still the king of sound. I think they do phenomenal with their sound in games, and just to see their sound chip in other consoles. Maybe I'll do some research on that and see what the future could hold for Nintendo and Microsoft, or just any any developer if they work with Sony to get a sound chip or a sound design in their system. But it is what it is. But everybody, we're gonna get into Snacktendo. Jacob, what have you been snacking on? Because you hit me with something, and I had to put out my choir. Yes.
Yeah.
Pick.
Yeah, so part of the thing that Beck and I did on Saturday was we went to the mall and they opened up it's literally just called Snack Plus store. And in there was just a whole bunch of different snacks. You had your basic candies, you had a lot of like old school chips and candies and things like that. But I think you may have talked about it recently or in the past, but I managed to pick up a Funyun flavored Frito-Lay.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Those things, so like that was the most disappointing bag of chips that I have ever had in my entire life. Like it didn't quite taste like Funyuns, but it also didn't quite taste like potato chips. It was just something kind of in between.
I'm sorry.
And it was so like it was one of the little like small personal bags, right? So it was I was able to finish it, but if it had been like the regular sized bag, like that you take home and kind of eat out of for a couple days, that I probably would have had to have thrown a lot of that away because it was so disappointing in that regard that I just wasn't even able to like fully. And I was trying to remember, did you get the Funyun flavor or did you get the like Cool Ranch Dorito one?
So I didn't get the Cool Ranch Dorito. I got the Funyun flavor, and then I got the Cheetos flavored Lay's.
Okay.
Because the Dorito ones was at the gas station that I went to didn't have.
Okay. Were the Cheetos ones good at all? Did I miss that episode? Okay.
The Cheeto ones are good.
Yeah. I'll have to go back and pick those up because like I was really interested by that because like so unapologetically I love the taste of Funyuns, but I don't like eating like onion rings. So Funyuns are like perfect for me. But
what?
Yeah, I know. Listen, apparently there's this whole thing that I hate cheese sticks.
Uh-huh.
And apparently that's a sin because like everyone in my chat on Twitch was blowing me up about why do I hate cheese sticks and like how am I human and blah blah.
Wait, we're talking about like
mozzarella
sticks, for example?
Yeah, dude. Those things
man.
even the thought of them makes me want to vomit. It's so gross. It's so gross. I can't stand the like weirdly partially melted cheese with fried around it. It's weird.
It makes sense. Like some people just don't like that consistency on the inside. Like it's like one or the other, not both. That's too much.
Yeah.
For some people, it's the texture of it for some reason.
The inside texture or the outside texture? Because some people just don't like crispy stuff.
I think it's the outside texture.
Because I've met people that they'll order mozzarella sticks and they will peel off the outer crust and then dip the the semi gooey cheese in the marinara.
See,
That's so gross.
I have to have everything. I have to have everything together. Like
that's how I am too. That's how I am too. We're about to make Jacob.
You are, dude. My stomach is like, please stop. That's so.
You're surrounded by the wrong foodies tonight, bro.
I really am, man. I should have picked an episode with Dan and David or something. To talk about my hatred of mozzarella sticks. So another thing that I wanted to talk about is I managed to pick up the Pokemon Oreos. I found at my local HEB, I found a whole bunch of those. And I jokingly on a live stream, because like, I don't know if y'all know. Oh, you got some too. Excellent. Well,
wait a second. Okay, so question. Are they just regular Oreos?
They're just regular Oreos. They're just basic.
Yeah.
Regular flavor. They're not even colored. Like you think, like I would have thought that like the icing would have been red and black to be like or red and white to be like a Pokeball, but it's not even. It's not even. It's just a regular Oreo with a like a different Pokemon styled cookie on it.
Yeah.
But so I was like doing a parody of people doing opening videos and like freaking out about it, and so I was like picking out Oreos of all the different types, and we looked up beforehand what like the most expensive Oreo was, and I kid you not, a Mew cookie sold for $20,000 on eBay, and I
Say what?
$20,000, and it's sold. Like, this isn't like listed. It's actually a sold item on eBay for $20,000, and I got one. I got a Mew cookie. And I ended up, so it's listed. You can go buy Galatrad's Mew cookie on eBay for right now. The bid starts at $35, and to buy it now is $350. Trying to pay for that Switch OLED. So if you want, go check out eBay.
Jesus Christ, maybe I need to go get a bag of these.
Dude, for real. Like, it's like $5.
I'm gonna saunter over the Food Lion tomorrow.
And worst comes to worst,
do you eat Oreos?
You have a box of
Oreos. Oh God, yes, I eat Oreos. I prefer double stuffed. I prefer the chocolate on chocolate Oreos. I love the golden Oreos, especially the lemon cream ones. Oh my, and every now and then I get down to mint Oreos.
The lemon ones are hard to find.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They're common. Well, they might be hard. They might be hard to find where you're at, but they're common as hell out here, man. Like, shoot, sometimes all I can find are lemon ones. Like, I can't find like just a regular classic.
So
those lemon ones are dangerous.
Yes.
Another cardinal sin for me is that I actually prefer the thin Oreo cookie.
Those are the bomb.
Yeah, good.
It's a cardinal sin for me though, because I will demolish an entire container of them.
Yes,
I have never
in one sitting. Not just like, oh, I'll open them this morning and by tonight they'll be gone. No, I open them this morning and in 10 minutes they're gone.
I've never had the damn ones.
Oh,
you missing out.
Yeah, they're good.
You're missing out. There was a rare one. But I don't believe that it ever came to the States, because I remember seeing this when I was traveling when I was in the military. Mm-hmm. They had the freaking Oreos, the classic Oreos, but it had like the York peppermint patty, like filling.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Yes. Yeah.
That's like
I only saw it overseas.
Why did that sound familiar?
I mean, of course they have the mint Oreos, but it's like the classic cookie with the green filling.
Yeah.
Wouldn't know what. Okay. Yeah.
But this had the peppermint, like the white peppermint filling for these.
Was it also encased in chocolate? Like that?
No, it wasn't encased in chocolate. It was just the two chocolate cookies, and then sandwiching the cream.
Yeah. Okay.
Man, that makes me think of the Hershey's cookie and mint candy bars.
That's about the closest. That's about the closest you can get to it, I guess.
I miss those so much. Those was the bomb bag. I'm sorry. Is that all, Jacob?
Yeah, that's it for me. I also, like I said, or I don't know if I said it, but Becca and I had some really delicious sushi. You can check it out on my Twitter. We had sushi and apple and white peach sake, which was it was delicious.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was so good. It was hard not to.
Was it apple sake and white peach sake,
or was it apple sake in one container and white peach sake in another? Mixing them apparently wasn't good, but the apple sake was it was gorgeous.
Oh yeah, I bet.
I need someone to ride with me so I could drink some sake, because I don't want to drive after drinking sake.
Wait.
You won't get super even tipsy off of sake if you drink it, especially with a group.
Yeah, if you guys have one container of sake, and if there's more than two of you, like, you guys are gonna be fine,
Because I don't know if you know, Ed, but sake is typically served in like these little tiny shot cups.
Yes.
Even though you don't, you sip it, you don't shot it. So
you
take your time with it. It's just like kind of palate cleansing.
It is one of my dreams to have sake, like to have like some sushi and some good sake, and just like.
You've never had sake before?
No, I never have.
Okay. Just so you know, you're not going to fall off your behind drunk. Like, you're not. No. I mean, you'd have to have like 4 or 5 containers of sake to get lit like that.
If you're ever in Austin, Ed, let me know. I'll take you to Ichiban, and we can go sit we can sit on the ground, take our shoes off, dine on some delicious sushi, sake, and noodles and such. So.
I'll just be in the car. Jacob taking pictures of me knocked out because the itis kicked in. The itis on.
Yep. The food coma.
So LeRon, what have you been snacking on?
I've only brought one thing to this to this go round, and it is Rainbow Twizzlers.
Rainbow Twizzlers. Okay.
Hold on a minute. Are those the single packs?
Yes, they are.
Where did
Yes,
you find them?
Just Wally World.
I didn't know
Okay,
they
this is how I discovered them. Was going to a client's office to like basically do some updates and stuff on their PCs and stuff like that. And this particular office knows I have a sweet tooth. So they were like, "Hey, we got something for you to try." And I was like, "What am I trying?" You know, and they're like, "We know you like Twizzlers." I was like, "Yes, I like Twizzlers." So I'm sitting there thinking, you know, it's gonna be one of those crazy flavors, like because they turned me on to the creamsicle flavored Twizzlers. Which if you like Orange Crush or like you will love this because they actually have a filling in them.
Yeah, I talked about it on Pow Block on Snacktendo.
But yeah, they're like okay, so there's a reach in here, and they wouldn't show me that it was like a container of Rainbow Twizzlers because like if you look at the container, like they showed me this side where like there's no label, and they were hiding the actual label that says the Rainbow Twizzlers, right? So I reached in and I was like, oh, there's colors, you know. So I grabbed one and it happened to be a blue raspberry one, and I was like, okay. So not only are these Rainbow Twizzlers though, these are candy straws. So technically, you can stick them in drinks and they won't melt down by the time you finish drinking your drink and stuff like that because they're straws. But these things are the freaking bomb. Like they're strawberry, orange, lemonade, watermelon, blue raspberry, and grape. And I can't decide if I like the grape or the blue raspberry better. I can't decide. But all I know is this is the first container of candy that I can't eat in like one day. Like it takes me a while to get through this thing, because and it says on the packaging there's 105 twists in there.
I'm gonna have to go to Wally World tomorrow and get some. I didn't know they did the containers for them.
Yep. And the cool thing about it is like these containers, like I just turn around and refill them with something else. Like, you know, like Halloween's coming up, so you know, like I probably just like fill it up with like the Halloween assorted variety, the candy packs. These containers are Oh yeah. But yeah, that's my thing is I'm opening a blue raspberry Twizzler right now. You guys are gonna see me munching on the rest of the show tonight.
Celeste got me because she had the little miniature Snickers and she spelled out the word. I was just like, Celeste, those are dangerous. I'm like, you got me buying the bag at work eating those small little Snickers, the little square ones, dangerous.
Are we talking about the Snackers, or are we talking about the ones that are basically you can pour in your hand?
It's the one I think that you can pour in the hand because the other ones are the fun sizes. That's the big, like, medium kind. The small ones, that's like a square. Yeah. Yeah.
I have control issues when it comes to Snickers. I have
And then he'll grab another one.
So that's green.
So that's all, LeRon. Did you snack down?
That's it.
Okay. For me, I really didn't do much snacking, but I found out that the mobile gas station that's by me, they carry the frosted ice honey buns from Hosties. I had to buy the last one. I didn't know that because no one around here sells them, and they are the bomb honey bun, and they're like top tier honey bun. And I seen them, they have it, and I literally scream in the gas station. The gas attendant had to look at me like, "What the world?" I was like, you got the honey buns!" and snack and ran to the counter and bought them. Like I loved if If we are at a store and you are with me and you show me that, hey Eddie, they got the ice honey buns, I'm ready to buy them in the quickness. You would see smoke in the quickness.
Uh,
Hmm.
so Ed, where I live, the town that I live in, we had, I think, I'm not sure if it's still in production, but we had a honey buns factory where they made them, packaged them for shipping, and we have a lot of honey buns products in our stores around us. So I think they might still be running. I'll try to see if I can get some from there for you. Send you a box of
Well,
them.
I know. Up until recently, like we had a like up in Yorktown, which is where I live. Yorktown is like a 5 minute drive from me. Like,
Mhm.
so on that 5 minute drive, there used to be a Hostess store where they just brought all the stuff in. Well, that sucker's gone now.
Yeah, we had one 10 minutes from my house, in another city that was too far. And when Hostie's closed down the first time before they came back, that store they were they got rid of their whole Hosties. Like everything was 90% and it was gone within hours. I'm like, oh. But now I have the Pepperidge Farm store, which I need to go there Saturday. No, Friday. I need to go because I need to see what new Pepperidge Farm cookies and stuff that they got, um, everything. But everybody, that has been Snacktendo. Thank you, LeRon. Thank you, Jacob, for giving us some snacks. And now it's time for Game Fact Events. And I am presenting you guys with the Game Fact Events. And since it's October, I thought I'd bring a little bit spookiness to it. And of course, it's kind of like one of my favorite enemies that I just love. It's Boo. And he was originally known as Boo Deadlies or and later Boo Buddies. And they are the common ghost enemies in the Mario franchise that first appeared in Super Mario Bros. 3. They are the they are a type of white spherical ghost with fantasy and normally open mouths. They are known for their large tongues and small arms of some sort. However, the most distinctive characteristics of the Boos is their shy personality, where they cover their face when someone looks directly at them. They will uncover their faces once the subject turns around. And reason why I brought Boo up, he has appeared in 111 games in the Mario universe. On top of him appearing in Minecraft, Monopoly Gamer, and The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. He appeared in Captain Toad, Treasure Tractor, and Mario Sports, but 111 games in total he has appeared in. I was just like, wow. Now, the Boo Diddley, it was a pun off the late rock star Bo Diddley. However, future games refer to them only as Boos. And I think Boo is like kind of one of the funniest. And when I played Super Mario Bros. 3 for the first time, he literally was one of the scariest characters because he was hard to defeat because you could beat him with the Hammer Brother outfit in Mario Bros. 3 or the Invisible Star. You could kill him. But there was platforms in some of the kingdoms in Mario Bros. 3 that Boo was made out of. So he will appear at the top, go on the whole thing, and then come down, and then he will reverse and go down at the bottom. And then he's been a mainstay. Definitely in Mario Kart, you see him coming in and stealing your items and stuff like there. And then you got the big boos and everything. And even with Odyssey and stuff, just seeing them. King Boo and the Luigi Mansion games, like he's there and everything. So it's cool that like his spookiness is kind of like wacky and his shyness just like, oh, don't look at me and stuff. It's kind of cool. I love that. Definitely in Mario Maker and Mario Maker 2, where you could just make a whole level full of boos chasing you. And it is sometimes terrifying because when you trying to do like a no-hit run and you have to deal with all those boos and you are not prepared and they just chasing you everywhere while you trying to speed run, it's craziness. But yeah, that is my game fact events. It's our booze, and hopefully you guys will enjoy boo if you're playing any Mario game. You know, with with your friends and family and stuff. But
You
everybody, we're
said
gonna
you said
oh, go ahead.
115 appearances.
111.
Oh,
He's in
Jesus
111
Christ.
games.
Can I add? Can I add on to your fact, Ed?
Yes, go ahead.
So, did you know that Boo was actually inspired by the co-creator of Super Mario Bros. 3, Takashi Tezuka's wife?
No.
Yeah, so apparently she was a very shy person. Like she was very quiet and like inner focused, but then had according to Takashi Tezuka, had a very like aggressive personality when she got mad, and so
Yeah.
it inspired Boo. And that's why he's shy when you look at him, because if you look at her from like outward facing, you wouldn't know that she apparently can be quite the little fiery woman. So
That's hilarious.
yeah.
Oh, nice. Did not know that. Oh,
But
yeah. I was looking
111
up.
games, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Are there even that many Mario titles?
Oh, for sure.
So he's in a different series.
Well, I know he's a different series, but you're telling me that this guy has appeared in more games than there are Mario games.
Yeah, because he did some of the sports games of Mario, Super Princess Peach. He's been in Mario and Sonic at the Olympics, Smash Brothers, of course. Mario and Luigi. He did Mario versus Donkey Kong, like Paper Mario. Like he's in
He was
lot.
in Mario versus Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite Game Boy Advance games.
Oh yes, oh nice. And Mario Party. My mom loves the Mario versus Donkey Kong. She brought a DS just to play that series, and
Nice.
she beat it all. I'm just like, how are you able to be? I don't own it. She does, and she mastered that game with the quickness. My mom, and plus Animal Crossing. If you give her Animal Crossing, she would beat that game within 3 days. And then had like 15 million bells to spin. I'm like, dang, you just paid off your ass house. She's like, I can't help it. I'm like, okay. So, but everybody, it's time for Femi News. And as you guys can see, David is not joining us. He is taking a hiatus to focus on some things. So, David, we will miss you doing the news. But me and Jacob are going to tag team the news this time. And then we'll actually have a correspondent doing the news in future episodes. So, let's get into the Femi news. Our first story is Fan of Frame Maiden of Black Water is going multi-platinum. It's going multi-platinum. Releasing worldwide on October 28th, the Wii U exclusive will on Sony and Microsoft platforms this time. Originally released in parts on the Wii U, this version is the complete package with new costumes. What's interesting is that Nintendo co-owns the IP with Koei Tecmo, while fully owning Spirit Camera, which is a spin-off of the Fatal Frame series for 3DS. Since Koei Tecmo is publishing Maiden of Black Water, do you see future Nintendo exclusive titles releasing to other platforms if that developer publishes it also? And we kind of seen it with Wonderful 101 that Platinum published that game for not only Switch but for PlayStation and I think PC also. I don't think it came to Microsoft platforms, but it went somewhere else and it was a Wii U exclusive. But do you guys see more of this happening in the future? That some of the games that Nintendo has funded and everything, they get published by that developer?
Yeah, well, so Platinum, the developer, is the one that immediately comes to mind because Bayonetta started on non-Nintendo systems, and then Nintendo had helped bring it, kind of keep it going and bring it back, so it went to the Wii U as an exclusive for a while until it came to Switch with Bayonetta 2, and now Bayonetta 3 is coming out next year. They also have Astral Chain, which is a Switch exclusive right now, but they don't own that IP, so... Or maybe they do. It's kind of fuzzy, but like I know that that's another one that.
Yeah, so Nintendo fully owns Astral Chain.
Okay, they do own that IP. Okay,
yes.
So maybe that's one that they're not going to be able to bring over. But yeah, Platinum Games is definitely the first company that comes to mind for being able to do something like this. I do wonder if Nintendo sees any of the profits from that, if they get any of that back, since they are co-owners of the IP.
I believe they do because they own 40% of the IP.
Okay.
So I believe any sale that they get, they would get some part of it. And plus, you won't see Nintendo's name on the box. You would literally see Kobe Technicals for it. LeRon, what are your thoughts?
I do see more stuff like this happening in the future. We live in a very interesting time here with gaming now and stuff like that. A lot of companies now are trying to figure out and I want to say the pandemic started it, but a lot of companies are trying to figure out how they can stretch or get more of their dollar and stuff like that. And so if a company if Nintendo's the original publisher or something, and the dev team are like, hey, we're also getting some distribution rights here and stuff like that. I definitely see more companies like doing this, and it being more of a thing that's going to happen. I mean, we've got games that we never thought we'd see them on different platforms. I know this is a gimme. Like MLB The Show, for example, is on Xbox right now, but that was also part of a partnership with that Sony had with the Major League Baseball Players Association and stuff like that. But still, there was a time when people were like, "Oh, hell freeze over for a PlayStation game shows up on Xbox," or "Hell freeze over for an Xbox game shows up on Nintendo or Sony," stuff like that. And look what's happening. Like, the ecosystem's getting more diverse, and I think also one of the things that helped out with that is companies now are taking development and porting to the PC a little more seriously, and they're seeing the potential of what happens when certain games come to certain places. Like Capcom realized it full well when Devil May Cry and Monster Hunter got PC releases. They're like, wow, we took a game that sold 5 million units, and now we've sold 18 million units, and stuff like that. So companies are starting to realize and embrace the power of crossover potential. The games aren't. I doubt games are gonna have day and date, same day one releases on different platforms, stuff like that. But yeah, if you got games in your back library that you feel need a fair shake and stuff like that, yeah, definitely. I see more companies doing it.
And Octopath Traveler is definitely another one, because Nintendo published that game for Switch, where Square Enix did the development, and then it came out to all the other platforms where Square published it. And so
I don't think it's on PlayStation yet.
It's not on PlayStation yet.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I thought they would get it. Because I would expect that because if it's on PC and it's on Xbox, why haven't Sony got it?
Well, PC was the first place it released at.
Yeah.
The first place outside of was it Nintendo? Yeah, it was Nintendo and PC first, and it's on Stadia and Xbox right now.
No, so it was on Nintendo for a whole year. It didn't PC. Xbox got it.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if that was always going to be a timed exclusive if it did come out a year after, because there are a lot of those games that start as a timed exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also think, well, I mean, okay, we're gonna use Square Enix as an example right now. Square is kind of they've seen which side the grass is greener on and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after Final Fantasy VII took off after they broke ties with Nintendo for the most part, with the main part of the Final Fantasy series. So I think Square Enix in this situation realized that we can make we can't cut off our revenue source. So we give it to Nintendo first because, if you look at a game like Octopath Traveler, there's no doubt this is a game that should be on a Nintendo system, but it also has enough flexibility to show up somewhere else, things like that. So, and I honestly think that's what a lot of these companies do nowadays when we have these, I'm going to call them stealth limited releases, because we'll see advertisement and we will swear up and down, oh, this is only going to be exclusive on this system, and then a year later, hell, some games are 7 months later showing up somewhere else now. Look at that turnaround time the Medium took.
Yeah, and the Medium is a weird one, because I didn't know that it was coming to PlayStation.
I had no idea it was coming to PlayStation. I knew there was going to be a full on PC release because like
Yeah.
Game Pass for PC had it. You know, I knew it was going to be a full on PC release, but but I thought it was going to stay in the Microsoft ecosystem for a long time, and then like I said, 7-8 months later, like we're getting announcements that it's coming to the PlayStation 5, and just like another Switch was Oddworld. Oddworld showed up, on other platforms like in 9 months, stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
I think COVID is I think COVID is meddling with a lot of this stuff because I feel like traditional like time releases would still been there, like the 1 or 2 year time exclusives, but COVID's messed around things, and also we're gonna see like a boom in digital shipment too, in digital sales too, because right now commerce is being affected by stuff like shipping lanes are being hindered and hurt and stuff like that Amtrak derailment. Apparently that's thrown the entire like western side of the United States in flux because like that Amtrak derailment happened on like a major part of the infrastructure for the railway for transit and transport and stuff like that.
The funny thing, LeRon, about that Amtrak as the side thing, that's the train that I would take to get to Corey's house in Ohio.
Well,
That's the
glad you
train
weren't
that
on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you were nowhere close to Colorado and Nevada, so
Well,
you're good.
yeah. But it was just weird when it happened. I'm like, that's the line that I take
Yeah,
if I want to go somewhere, and just mind boggle.
yeah. So I mean, we're probably going to see an uptick in digital sales, and we're also probably going to see, depending on how things go, because analysts have already saying, like stock analysts and commerce analysts are already saying, like like this is going to be a hard year. Like people already thought that these consoles are going to be hard to get, like because of like chip shortages and technological, but we've got like transit and shipping is being affected now because of different things. It's outside factors. It's not internal stuff. So yeah, so we're probably gonna see a boom in like digital sales because people are gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be hard to get physical editions of these games and stuff like that. Like people are gonna have to get, and like companies are gonna have to incentivize getting digital over physical.
Yeah, and definitely when it comes to Nintendo, a lot of people still want the physical, and it's shown in sales that, you know, that Nintendo is making a lot of great sales physically than they are digitally. And only time we can actually check what's doing good for the digital sales for Nintendo is if we actually go to the eShop and see what is leading. I think for this predicament, not predicament, for this kind of marketing thing, I think as long as, because it's only been Japanese developers that's been doing it. Platinum and Koei Tecmo, they're Japanese developers, and it's kind of like their own kind of franchise where Nintendo be like, yeah, you can put it on, but we're taking our name off and stuff. And I think if they decide to do more of that, like if they do a game with Namco Bandai, or if they do something like with another Japanese developer with Atlas or something, they could take their name off of it, um, and they could release it because maybe Shin Megami Tensei 5 could show up on Xbox and PlayStation next year.
Oh, it's supposed to be a worldwide release, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but it's only for Switch for worldwide.
No, I meant like I don't think it's supposed to be. I don't think it's planned to be an exclusive.
Yeah, it's a Nintendo exclusive.
Okay, I must have misread somewhere because it sounded like they had a rollout like planned.
It might be a timed exclusive eventually.
That's what I'm saying. Like it sounded like it sounded like it was coming to other systems outside of Switch.
So when Nintendo had that Japanese kind of showcase when they showed off ARMS and some other games and stuff, Shin Megami Tensei was part of it, and when they mentioned worldwide release for it, it was worldwide for Europe, America, and Japan at the same time.
I'm sorry. I meant I'm sorry. I got my words mixed up because when I say worldwide release, I meant like multi-platform. That's what I meant to say.
Multi-platform. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It's something about SMT5 that it does not feel like it's going to be just a pure exclusive for one system.
Yeah, because
there's too much. There's too much. Well, number one, there's too much interest in it. Like it formed a lot of buzz at E3 this summer.
Oh yeah.
I'll let Nintendo give Shin Megami Tensei 5 away as soon as we get Persona 5 on Switch.
Oh, come on, Sega Atlas.
I
You
mean, I
are.
mean that. I mean that's a possibility too.
That
Honestly,
yeah, I'd be happy if that's the trade off. I'd be happy. I'd be happy with that because I really want to play Persona 5.
I gotta finish
you
it.
better come to the dark side, Galatrad.
I've got a PC that can do it. I just try not to. I try to wait. I try to be patient and hold out.
Uh, well, well, we're gonna move on to the next story. Konami reportedly reviving Castlevania, Metal Gear, and Silent Hill, and this is just a rumor at this time. With the success of Castlevania Advance Collection, it seems Konami may be bringing some of their well-known franchises back to the gaming world. How did you guys feel about this?
I'm all for it.
For
I'm
sure.
all for it. We need to see a resurgence. These are Konami. These are three of Konami's like hallmark like franchises here. I mean, yeah, there's
Yes.
a few others that we can think about. Gradius, Contra, you know, but these are three of their hallmarks, and these are three of the ones like I mean we've got generations of kids and stuff that their first systems was PlayStations or GameCubes and stuff like that. They remember these games and stuff like that. So we're looking at if this is true and it gets realized, we're looking at a wave of profitability for Konami. As long as they don't screw it up, as long as they don't screw it up, they should be fine. I mean, because like we've seen a lot of missteps from Konami. We have. But at the same time, like when Konami does something right, they do it right. So yeah, like I will definitely love to see them pull Metal Gear out of limbo. I would definitely love to see them pull Silent Hill out of its purgatory.
Mhm.
Castlevania. Castlevania has been that one that still kind of keeps going, and it actually, like the pulse of Castlevania has been kind of, it's been steady. It's not like it's dying on the vine or anything. So like Castlevania for sure. I'm pretty sure like Konami has a plan for that. But Metal Gear Solid, well, yeah, Metal Gear Solid. They say Metal Gear Solid, but they might just drop the Solid and just go back to them, just make the entire Metal Gear universe and whatnot, things like that. Silent Hill's been begging for like like a decent outing and stuff like that. So I'm all for it. Like I want to see, and I'll say this because there's a lot of gamers out there. Like I know this is the Nintendo show. A lot of gamers are upset about Silent Hill PT. Well, PT
Yeah.
Silent Hills and stuff like that. You gotta let that go. You gotta let that go. You gotta let that go. Like things happen for a reason. I mean, shoot, Hideo Kojima is on to often better and better things now. Like you gotta let that go. So yeah, don't don't murder the messenger. That being Konami, just because like the message you got was sour.
Yes. Jacob, what are your thoughts? How do you feel about this?
Yeah, so that article goes on to talk about how the same person who leaked it says that or not leaked it, rumored it, says that that the development team behind those remasters are wanting to do a reimagining of each series. So
Mhm.
I do hope that they stick to that. I personally love the game Castlevania Harmony of Despair on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. It was a multiplayer Castlevania game that you were all running through the level at the same time, working together to defeat the bosses. Or the boss at the end of the level, and it played a lot like kind of a mixture of Symphony of the Night meets the original Castlevania style.
Mhm.
And I'd love for them to make a new multiplayer game because that I put several hundred hours into that game just farming through the same bosses because you were hoping for that great loot drop, and that's always fun. And then I was actually just talking about this that I wish that they would. This isn't Konami, but I wish that they would bring back just a full-on stealth tactical, making sure to even like going as far as to hiding the bodies that you kill Splinter Cell, where you're like trying to get into a base and like steal information. And I could see them going that route with Metal Gear Solid because with Metal Gear Solid 5 there was a lot of extra stealth parts in it that you could do an entire mission totally stealth based. And so I could see them taking that route and creating a very good stealth based gameplay, um, or self-based game with the Metal Gear series. As for Silent Hill, I've never really played a whole lot of them, so I don't have any sort of nostalgia to talk on them.
Okay. Well, I know me and David talked about this. I think he was with us too, Jacob, on a previous Pow Block because we were talking about the indie showcase, and it was just like how Konami is working with these indie developers to revive some of their old IPs, and so I could see them touching each of these series. Now, Silent Hill is going to be like a difficult one because you kind of wonder who is going to do it. Everybody thought it was is it Blooper Team,
I don't know.
LeRon, the people who did Medium.
Bloober Team did medium, yeah.
Okay, so everybody thought they were doing it, but they're doing Layers of Fear.
Yeah,
Um,
they've got their new project they're working on right now.
yeah, so it could be the people who make the Amnesia games. It could be some kind of indie team who has done some kind of like horror survival horror game that is like really recognizable and everything. Um, so Silent Hill, we got to see who could take that. Now, Metal Gear and Castlevania, because Castlevania is kind of their leading franchise for Konami. And the thing with Castlevania is that Castlevania is split into three parts now. You got the linear Castlevania games like Castlevania 1, 3, Bloodlines, and Dracula X. You got the Metroidvania kind of styles with Simon's Quest, Symphony of the Night, the Game Boy Advance collection that came out with those. And then you got the 3D ones that like the Castlevania God of War one that Kojima did, and the N64 Castlevania and Xbox ones in that era. So you kind of got like three kind of styles, and any of those could be done. Who does it though is weird. I kind of feel like they would go with Platinum or if Ninja Theory was still uh independent, I think they would have got a Castlevania game to do. Um, and it may be on everybody's platform because right now people are excited to hear this news if it is true. But what platforms are they going to come? Are they going to be indie games that's going to hit everything, or are they going to get that double A kind of treatment where it's going to be exclusive to certain systems?
I
Um,
will say, I will say that the bulk of the games would be multi-platform, and then some specialized games would be on specific systems.
right.
Like I can see Nintendo getting their exclusive. I can see Microsoft and Sony getting their exclusive. But for the most part, I think we're talking about Castlevania.
Hmm.
Castlevania, the bulk of the franchise will show up everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think like Zone of the Enders will still be on PlayStation and Xbox. If they did it.
Actually,
Never coming back.
Xbox never got. Yeah, and that's a Kojima production. So yeah,
But I think if they brought it back, Konami probably would hit those two systems. If they brought it back,
you
or
know what? It's been so long that I don't even know. Like they would have to pull out all the stops to get me back. I mean, I love the Zone of the Ender series. They would have to pull out every major stop they could think of to get me back.
well, I wonder the team. I think at Marvelous who did Daemon X Machina, they could probably be working with Konami and doing it because I like Daemon X Machina. I know people didn't like it, but I'm like they are mech people who are made from software and other people who worked on Gundam and stuff. So to see them come together and do like a Zone of the Enders for Konami, it has a chance to be a hit. You know, I think when you look into the series that Konami has done and try to pinpoint who will work with those old games, I think people will be interested to see like, oh wow, I never knew that this would fit and everything. So I hope it is true. I hope that the games that they bring back falls on every platform. Because Castlevania Events collection is doing wonders. It did wonders on Nintendo and on PlayStation, and I think on Xbox it's doing good numbers.
By the
Um,
way, but yeah, that game is available everywhere. Like it's on every system, including the PC. So I mean, like this is their they need to pay attention to the data. They need to pay attention, and
mhm,
this is their testing ground right now.
yeah. So Jacob, I'm gonna hand it over to you for the rest of the news.
Yeah, so Nintendo has once again partnered up with BlackMilk Clothing, this time releasing a clothing line inspired by the Legend of Zelda series. This line will be made available on October 11th, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. It's got so far they've announced stuff like like an overall map styled article of clothing and what looks like a very Zelda centric sweater, and it also they kind of hinted at a Sheikah dress, which I thought was really cool. So far, BlackMilk has partnered with Nintendo for Super Mario and Pokemon fashion, and we've also seen Mario and more recently Animal Crossing inspired designs created by the famous footwear company Puma. So I wanted to ask y'all, are there any series that you wish would get a like very professional looking clothing line to it? Because like you get a lot of cred, or you get a lot of t-shirts and stuff that have just, slapped on logos and things like that, but like something that was more inspired by a series versus just like I said, just something slapped on to a pair of pants or a t-shirt.
Oh, I already have my answer ready.
Yeah, what would that
Oh,
be?
go ahead, LeRon.
Metroid.
Yeah. So like
Metroid.
design me some clothing. What do you want?
Okay, so like if we look at Metroid Dread that's coming out this week, right?
Yep.
Like I would love to have a jacket that's stylized with the same color scheme and everything as like Samus's like current outfit and stuff like that. I can legit see that being pulled off because when I first saw like the trailer for Metroid Dread, I was like, what is this outfit she's wearing? But more and more as I've seen it in action and stuff, I was like, this is pretty sleek and stuff like that. Like I can legit see like a nice like like a faux leather like material jacket and stuff but it's got that maroon, it's got that that I guess that's like an aqua colored blue,
yeah.
And of course the silver white highlights and stuff like that, man, like they can really pull that off. Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Yeah, like put a little bit of flair and pizzazz into it, right? Like Sam's been affiliated with so many different organizations throughout her history in Metroid and stuff like that. She's worked with the Space Corps. She's a bounty hunter, of course. Things like that. Make it look like a military jacket, stuff like that. So like have like decals and logos and stuff on that. Of course have like her S in the ball logo.
Oh, for sure.
Can I add on to that, LeRon? Her blue bodysuit could be a workout outfit.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like the Zero suit, the Zero suit outfit. Yeah,
some like biker shorts and a nice fitted tank top.
Yeah, I'm comfortable in my masculinity. I'll get the freaking Zero suit leggings.
Oh, dude, for sure. If I wasn't so like just large, I would absolutely rock a pair of the like full body Zero suit. That thing is so iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, Professor Layton, I would do because of his stylish British nature. I love dressing up. I love getting into dress pants and a nice shirt and tie and a nice coat. Man, Professor Layton always looks on point, and it just looks like something about him, regardless of the top hat and stuff, something about him, he just has the style that appears to me so professionally. So when I go places, when people see me, the style makes it look like I'm rich. That I have some not only fashion sense, but it speaks to people. And I think a Professor Layton line would just do like amazing. And then like if you got a son or something, or even a daughter, you can do the kids' clothes and stuff and everything. So yeah, it has a British flair to it, but it's just something that like piques people's interest and makes you like takes people's focus away from what they're doing and makes them look to be like, oh, that looks amazing. That looks like so stylish. So definitely Professor Layton for me. I would love to have a Professor Layton. And not to make it look like it's cosplay, but make it look like some nice casual and business wear.
Yeah.
Oh,
dude, that's so cool, and it's funny because like I'm the exact opposite of you. If I could rock PJ pants for every day, if I didn't have to go to a job that would like required me to dress up, I would be in PJ pants all the time. So I want a Kirby inspired pair of like fluffy pink PJ pants that have a red cuff to match his shoes at the bottom, so that it billows out and then cuffs back at the ankle. Like,
Oh my
oh man,
god.
that would be great.
But it's also gotta be stretchy
Oh
because
yeah,
like
yeah.
he likes to
Because
push
you
stuff
got
first.
it.
It's gotta
It's
be
like we're talking
stretchy.
like parachute style PJ pants. That cuffs off at the bottom, big pockets because Kirby's got an endless void inside of him. So like that's maybe with
Yep.
maybe like on like the thigh, it's like his face, like his eyes and his little mouth, and that's it. Like the rest of it is
Oh,
just full pink.
Does it come with different caps that you can switch out
Oh,
to
that
like?
yeah, dude, like little
oh,
sleep
that'd be
caps,
cool.
absolutely. Little beanies and stuff that have all the different power ups
That'd be
that he
so
does.
cool.
That would be that would be where
I
I'd
like
go.
that.
So totally opposite of you. I'd go full comfort and not even worry about anything else. Um, so
Oh yeah,
yeah,
you know what? Now I think about it, man. My Metro jacket. The only thing that sucks about that is there's only a certain time you can wear that.
that's I buy
unless
very large and
unless
thin
you're a
hoodies.
biker, and then you can wear it whenever you whenever you.
You know what? I would love a glow in the dark one to represent like the Prime 3 with with the other Samus.
Oh,
The
Dark
Oh, Dark
Samus.
Samus.
Yeah,
Yes.
that would be cool with like veins kind of intentioned into
Yeah.
it. That'd be sick. I'm really digging the Metroid jacket for sure because I've always anytime I do have to dress up I always have like a jacket on me because I get cold because my office is really cold. So
Yeah.
I'd love to have something stylish like that.
And you know what? Now that I'm talking about like motorcycle stuff, like a set of Samus motorcycle boots would just be dope.
Like the red and orange, some
Dude,
classic
Yeah.
Varia suit.
I would literally just buy those shoes just to have.
You'd have to rock like combat style boots basically on your
Oh yeah.
regular.
Oh yeah.
That'd
Oh
be so
yeah.
good.
They'd have to be heavy duty because I mean, come on, like look at the miles Samus puts in them games.
Oh,
They'd
yeah.
have to be heavy duty.
For sure, steel toed. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, like you gonna curb stomp somebody with those? You know I am.
Yep.
Better get it right together.
Yeah, and so the Masahiro Sakurai has taken to Twitter to encourage everyone to tune in to the last Sakurai Presents DLC Fighter announcement, saying, and I quote, "Whether you're a Smash Bros. Player or simply love games, make sure to tune in." This got me thinking maybe because he was talking about retirement, maybe he's actually going to be working on a new project after Smash Brothers that could go over kind of like how Hideo Kojima went over multiple platforms. So maybe he's branching outside of Nintendo a little bit. But more importantly, with our DLC fighter announcement happening tomorrow for us, but yesterday, if you're hearing this recorded, how cool is it that Waluigi's finally in Smash?
Wait.
No, what are your predictions? What are your predictions for a final for like let's see
Oh my
who's,
god! Oh my
who's
god!
right.
Jacob just broke the internet.
I did.
Right.
He broke the internet in the future.
What are y'all's predictions for this final fighter? I know David is quoted as saying Master Hand. I think that'd be super cool to bring it back to another character that Sakurai has kind of created. But what about y'all? Who do you want to see as the final Smash Brothers fighter?
Okay.
Ed, you go.
Okay. So I said Beautiful Joe or Thomas from the game Kung Fu because Nintendo did publish that game that Data East made. So and he's the one that it had 5 levels that he had to save Sylvia. So I'm just like I think those two are possible. They're wacky enough, but I think like because we don't have no Data East characters in Smash. So I think like someone like Karnov could actually come there and stuff because he was in a fighting game by Data East called Fighter's History. And he had his own game. So maybe that.
Maybe.
Oh.
You got one, LeRon? You want me to go ahead and go?
You go ahead and go.
Okay,
I'm formulating one right now.
Sure.
You go ahead and go.
Sure. So I'm leaning heavily on this theory of him actually announcing a new project, and I'd like to see a new, totally unseen character, totally brand new to gaming from a brand new IP that he will then announce that he is working on bringing to Switch, PlayStation, Microsoft, wherever, PC, wherever. and have that be like his like send off to the Smash Brothers series, saying this is what I'm now going to be working on. But guess what? You get the first look at him or her in Smash Brothers coming out. Coming out whenever the character releases. And I'd like for him to just wow everybody and create something that no one could have ever guessed, because it's something that Sakurai has created brand new for himself for a new project that he's working on.
Okay, you know what? That's cool as hell. I like that.
Thank you.
I like that. Me and the Crossroads crew, we've been keeping track of the trending, especially when it came with the Smash Brothers stuff. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's been thrown out there. I've been looking at it all. Some of it's off the wall, and some is like, come on, this makes no logical sense. So I feel like in the realm of logic, it's going to be something that, of course, has been tied to Nintendo over like the history of Nintendo. And Ed, you were onto something with the Data East stuff, but I'm gonna say, like, I feel like one of the Ninja Turtles could have showed up because of the fact that it's still one of the most talked about games, the NES Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. But because Nickelodeon is releasing a brawling game, tomorrow and stuff like that, chances are it's all like wrapped up in licensing and stuff like that. I think either Billy or Jimmy from Double Dragon may show up. That'd be my prediction.
Or both, because it could be like a palette swap thing.
This is the connection, because Nintendo and WayForward worked on that Beyblade game that came on the Switch that nobody played. So there is a possibility of that happening, because WayForward has done the Double Dragon games.
Yeah, so I mean that's my prediction. I've always felt like in this vein, like it's always going to be something that is a call. If you look at all the current characters that are in Smash right now, they're all call outs to some part of Nintendo's history. Like, I mean, like everyone's like Kazuya. I was like, yeah, there's been 2 Tekken games on Nintendo systems and stuff like that. Or there's been Soul Calibur and stuff like that. Like, this is not as far fetched as you think it is. Like, so like. Logically speaking, I'm thinking that it's going to be something that's tied to Nintendo's history and stuff like that. But Galatrad, you might be onto something with Sakurai, like just throwing a complete curveball and being like, "Hey, brand new original character that you'll play in like 5 or 6 years when my next game comes out."
Yeah,
and this is the thing about it, is that Sakurai and Bandai Namco have only worked with Japanese developers for their DLC. Not one of them are American besides Steve from Minecraft.
Yeah,
he's the only American developed character in the game, because of, once again, Nintendo worked with Microsoft.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's I think that's gonna do it for our family news there, Ed.
All right, that is our family news. Thank you, Jacob, for doing it with me. Thank you, LeRon, for contributing.
Of course.
So we're going to get into our doc mode. It's October, everyone, and this Friday, Metro Droid will finally be available. With Nintendo's Bluetooth audio live and so many spooky games available to Switch, do you think that Switch is the best place to experience the mysterious and haunting titles that are available and coming to the console? Should people visit Luigi's Mansion 3 for less spookiness and more wacky fun? So Elite Black Agents, let's get into it. So we are talking about horror games on Switch, and kind of like survival horror in a sense, and why do we think that the Nintendo Switch is a good place or not a good place for it? I kind of want to start with you, LeRon, because you have some experience with some horror games.
And real quick, Ed, I did want to shout out Frankenstein Gaming in the Twitch chat. Come see us live, twitch.tv/BossRush Network. Trying to say the website, bossrush.net. He pointed out that Rare is technically a UK company. So Banjo-Kazooie might be another one of those that would be outside of the Japanese focus.
Yes.
So I just wanted to point that out, since he did offer that up in our live chat. So go ahead, take it away, LeRon.
Oh,
okay. Yes, I do. When it comes you see, I feel like Nintendo is still a versatile, like especially the Switch. Nintendo is still a versatile, like property to where like
Mhm.
for any game can work on the Nintendo Switch. Like, and I'm not even talking about like as in terms of hardware power and stuff like that. Yeah, like it's up to the developers. It's up to like how like they want to publish the games and things like that. There's no reason why like survival horror or any type of horror type game can't work on the Switch. I mean, like, look, we have like games like Limbo, for example, that's on there. Which kind of threw me. I didn't think Limbo would be coming to the Switch, but
Mhm.
then when I did a look up, Limbo was on the Switch, and I was like, wait, what? Stuff like that. But also looking at Metroid Dread, for example, like, I mean, I didn't realize, but I guess I should have realized Metroid is kind of always like Metroid is my number one like Nintendo property. Like it is. I never really understood the correlation for why that is, but then I remember maybe you that I was talking to, Ed. Like no, it was David. It was David. That David was the one that brought out the fact that you probably like Metroid so much because you love the Alien movie franchise.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? That's it. Like Metroid didn't start off as like a scary slash horror game, but like they've gotten more suspenseful as time has come about. And like it was fully realized when Metroid Fusion happened, stuff like that. You actually had one of those. Honestly, like Metroid Fusion felt like freaking, like the first Alien. Like, it was like spamming the can, like you're in there by yourself, and there's something hunting you, and all this stuff, and things like that. So yeah, like I feel like Nintendo is still versatile enough that it can handle the stuff and things like that. So, um, the technology's gotten good to the point where where like the ambiance of like the sound effects and all that stuff is there and things like that. And I don't typically play with headphones with my Switch. Like I have a home surround system my Switch is hooked up to, stuff like that. So I get that effect, with the 7.1 surround system.
Did you
uh,
connect it to the Bluetooth? Did it work
yeah,
for you?
oh yeah. It worked.
Okay.
It worked. It worked for me just fine. I actually played around with it with Fire Emblem, as well as some Monster Hunter Rise just for a little bit.
Oh, I wondered that one
Yeah.
has to
Uh,
sound
yeah.
crazy
I
good.
can't. Yeah, like on Monster Roars with Bluetooth earbuds. No. No. especially Kizu and that ear piercing roar that he has. Mm-mm. But yeah, like Nintendo's already got the pedigree for scary and spooky games and stuff like that, So yeah, like there's no reason just to discount them or throw them out, They can, in this case, they can keep up with the big boys.
Alien Isolation is on Switch, and
Exactly.
I if they would have added HD Rumble to that game, it would have been a whole another level of fear in that. But what about you, Jacob? Oh, go ahead.
Thank you for mixing it again. Like God, you just had to trigger me. That was my October play last year. Like no, no. Hold on, you know what? Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert for anybody who's listening out there. There was never just one xenomorph.
I didn't know
There
that.
was there was never just one xenomorph.
All right,
that
Jake.
that's why it was always someplace that you didn't expect it to be at.
Uh, Jacob. What did you think?
Yeah, so this is kind of funny because I, very, very big Nintendo fanboy, have the exact opposite view as LeRon, frequent Sony fanboy and PC fanboy, and not Nintendo disliker. Not totally, but
Hey,
I
I'm sorry, I'm a flawed individual.
you are the fact that you don't give all of your heart and soul to Nintendo just makes you less of a human being, frankly.
I mean, I do it when there's a Monster Hunter game.
That's true. That's true. No,
We love
but
you, Laurent.
but yeah, we do. We love you. I'm just pulling you. But I actually disagree. I think that Nintendo just doesn't put out enough power to really bring you into a horror aspect of a game. This is one of the only times that you'll hear me say this, but I think in horror games specifically, graphical power and frame rate are key because if you're looking at we'll take an alien, the xenomorph. If you're looking at a xenomorph and it looks like a black blurry like pixelated blob and like it's had its like dripping mouth gunk removed and because the system just can't handle it, it's not going to be as scary as if you can get a full 4K like zoomed like perfect vision where it's almost like you're looking at it coming out of your screen. And so I think that while games on Nintendo can offer you a kind of a spooky vibe and a more horror experience, I think the best horror experiences are going to be found elsewhere, where systems can have more power to really push out that graphical aspect of it, because the imagination can run wild for sure, but it is limited still in its aspect to turn pixels into something that's really going to scare you.
Well, I have a question then, because Crisis showed up on the Switch and it actually looked very good.
Yeah, and
that was a game. That was a game that broke modern PCs when it came out.
Yes, yeah, and there are, like I said, there are games that are genuinely terrifying on Switch. But I think if you're like really wanting to dig in and find just like the horror of the most horrible of the horror games out there, I think you have to go probably PC would be your best bet, especially because PC allows for like more indie titles versus the more mainstream horror, and indies can get a lot more graphic and like deep into freaking you out than a typical AAA title can, just because they have to kind of hold themselves to a little bit more standard since they've got publishers to deal with as well.
And I think Nintendo just because it's kind of two separate sides. Nintendo, like we know, they like their family friendly like games, and they have particular art styles and how they just like they want to make you enjoy their product and make you have fun with it. And when you look at Metroid, it's always, yes, it's been about the exploration, it's been about Samus on his journey, but it's always been about his atmosphere. It's been about how you build tension and doing it. Like if you look at like still to this very day, Super Metroid is the perfect example about tension, about atmosphere, because going around like when you just hear some of the music and all that stuff playing and everything, and when it gets quiet, you kind of be like, what the world is coming? Something is happening. And when it comes to horror movies or survival horror, if you hear silence, something is going to be there to scare you or to get you. And the other game that when it comes to survival horror for Nintendo themselves is Eternal Darkness, and people are experiencing that game. We mentioned earlier about Fatal Frame and stuff, and how that used to be a series on PlayStation 2, taking pictures of ghosts and everything. Nintendo, surprisingly, to be part of an ownership of that, you'd be like, that goes against what you guys stand for, because you guys, you like the cutesy stuff. What are you doing with this horror and everything?
I was on the mini block a couple of weeks ago with you and Lamont. And remember how I was saying Nintendo sometimes gets in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
If they relax, loosen up, go outside their comfort zone, their boundaries and stuff like that, they would be surprised what would happen. Things like that. Like I mean, Alien Isolation sales on the Switch were actually very impressive. As a matter of fact, I think there was a curiosity factor because like this is coming off the heels of I think the Control Cloud version had just come out like right before Alien Isolation came out.
Yeah,
people were curious about that. People were curious about like the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt and stuff like that. So a lot of curiosity buys happened, and then like we actually saw the reviews come out on Metacritic and stuff like that, and it actually scored decently well. I mean, it wasn't like an 80+ score, but it was good,
yeah,
stuff like that. Like they get out of their comfort zone, sky's the limit. I will keep saying it, and I will also say, because I said this on Pow Block before, Nintendo is the #1 video game company in the world. Like when they realize that, and they realize they have like the wherewithal to do whatever they want, they could be even more phenomenal.
That's
Yeah.
I will agree with you there, LeRon, in that if Nintendo ever decides to like say, all right, we're gonna play or stop playing catch up with the big boys, and we're gonna put out a as powerful system as we can that works perfectly for third parties and just offer the exact same thing that they're offering plus their Nintendo charm, it's gonna be a real tough sell for those other companies. Like
Exactly.
they're going to have to become a Nintendo style company where they rely on their first parties and really put in the effort like Sony's been doing lately into those first party titles.
And I think like Nintendo allowing indies to bring that horror stuff to them, it picks people's interest because they'll look and be like, "Oh, this is on Switch. Oh, this looks kind of interesting. I'll give this one a try." You know, Capcom pretty much brought the whole Resident Evil series to Switch, and besides Seven in the Village, it's kind of amazing that they're giving Nintendo this chance to be like, we want this game to be on your platform because we know what it did for Sony, um, and we want to recapture that magic on your platform. You know, for people who maybe not own a Xbox or a PlayStation, or who don't do PC gaming or mobile gaming, here it is on this platform that you could take it on the go, so you could continue your process. Um, but you know, maybe the atmosphere is spooky that you are a security guard and you got your Switch at the desk. Maybe you start hearing some creaky stuff. You know, when we seen last year on at E3 how Capcom we had the girl and the guy going to the spooky house to let you know that 4, 5, and 6 were on Switch. Like, they know that they could put that spookiness and that survival horror game out there. And with indies getting very creative and stuff, um, it lets people know that we got different ways to experience horror games on this console and everything. And now, if you can't deal with horror, that's why I brought up, you know, Luigi's Mansion, because it is kind of wacky. And I think when you add a comedic value to something that's scary, you may get kids or you may get people who can't really play horror games to actually enjoy something that is deemed to be scary, but yet it has a comical effect to it. So it's kind of lighthearted in a sense.
Yep.
Yeah, no, for
So
sure. I think there is a place for games like Luigi's Mansion, stuff like Animal Crossing, where they have the whole Halloween event with Jack, the czar of Halloween. You know, that's a much more cutesy Halloween flavor that people can get into, and I think it's cool that they offer something for everybody.
yeah, and like Costume Quest
Mhm.
is a good one.
Yeah,
You know,
which is
like
another great indie title out there.
right. And what is over something? Not overflow.
Over.
Uh
Are you talking about like Overcooked?
oh, not overcooked. It's the one that got the sequel. That's coming, and I cannot think of it. Over something. Uh,
I don't know.
Overwatch?
no, not Overwatch. Give me 1 second. What did you guys? What did you think of horror games? Because it is Halloween. It is October. Why do you think everybody wants to play a horror game just this month? Because it actually happened with Zombie U when it came out on Wii U. Everybody wanted to play that game in October.
It's spooky month.
It's just the spirit of the season.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. Like, there's a reason why we've got a new Halloween movie coming out. Normally they don't wait till October to release Halloween movies. If I'm not mistaken, the last Halloween movie came out in summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the season, and people get they get up on the vibe. Like, I mean, I don't understand people who go all out and crazy, for Halloween and stuff like that. But of course, you know what? I said I wasn't going to plug it, but I guess I am going to plug it. I'm planning on streaming like the entire Dead Space trilogy on PC. Throughout the duration of this month, when I start, I will actually put out to have all 3 games, including like DLC and stuff, done by the end of the month and stuff like that. But I get caught up in the spirit. Last year I did Alien Isolation. Like game like basically triggered me, but I played that in the weekend.
Yes, it looking at Pokemon, like, or better yet, sorry, not Pokemon. We spoke about Konami, and they got a game called Lifeline, where you literally have to speak in a microphone to talk to this game.
I remember that.
I've
never heard of it.
Oh, it was a game that, yeah, you spoke into the microphone to control your character, and every time you scream in the mic, she wouldn't do anything.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. So, but like, and definitely with last thing with Metroid Dread is that none of us know anything about the game until we play it for Friday. Do you think they're going to capture the atmosphere of it being like spooky? It's going to make you jump. It's going to be some surprises, or you're going to be like, man, that was a really good story, just a really great game.
It's gonna be like a spooky story, but I don't think I've ever played a Metroid game where it gave me like jump scares. I don't think I've ever, like, it's hard to do it like maybe Metroid Prime would have done a good job with jump scares and stuff like that, but like the more traditional Metroid where you can basically see the entire environment anyway, like I don't think you're gonna get the ambiance, you're gonna get a bit of the spooky factor, but it's not gonna scare you. Like the scares are gonna be, oh god, like I have half a health tank left and I gotta fight this boss.
Oh goodness, I hate when that happens because I'd be like, definitely when I get like, I know I need one more hit and it kills me and I have to do that whole fight all over again. Just yes. So, any last words about survival horror and Switch having horror games and stuff? You said you're playing Dead Space, LeRon. Jacob, outside of Metroid Dread, are you planning to play any kind of spooky games?
Oh yeah, I've got a whole lineup. I'm gonna be playing Eternal Darkness for the very first time. I'm going to be playing Resident Evil, the first one on Switch, and I want to play through.
Are you doing the Resident Evil remake or?
No.
Wait. That's the only one on the Switch. Actually, the remake, right?
No, yeah. It's the original. It's the original tank controls one on the Switch. I don't think the remake. If the remake one is on the Switch, I'll play that one.
It's that one.
But
okay. Wait, no, you're thinking Resident Evil 2 and 3 remake. No, the Resident Evil remake is the one that came out on GameCube. That's the one I'm talking about, which basically is a remade version of the PS1 game.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes,
yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one you're gonna play.
Yes. Yeah. Then I'll be playing that one, and then I want to play through Little Nightmares as well on my stream. So it's all kicking off with Metroid Dread coming out Friday. So it'll be a fun spooky year for me, or spooky month for me.
For me, I'm going to be playing the Dead Space games 1, 2, and 3. I am going to be playing a game. I think it's called Scapegoat. It's a horror walking sim. Celeste wants me to play that. It deals with a cult, so I am interested in playing that. I'll probably be playing Resident Evil 5 with David. I'm trying to get him to play that with me so we could blow some zombies away. And yeah, I think that's going to be my horror stuff. And I think I'm going to jump back into Luigi's Mansion 3 because I need to finish that game.
Yeah, I need to beat that game too, actually.
Toad driving that car, that school bus is still the most funniest thing. But everybody, that has been our Doc Mode. Now it's time for Playing with Power. Jacob, what have you been playing with Power?
Yeah, so I've mostly been playing Pokemon because I've been shiny hunting for a Galarian Slowpoke. I'm on day 10 of shiny hunting and 3,520 something encounters, and still no shiny Slowpoke for me. So, which is almost triple over odds, because odds with the shiny charm are 1 in every 1,365. So I'm getting getting to the point where I'm like, okay, come on, you can. I know you're slow, but you can show up anytime now, please. Thank you. And then I played, like I said last, I played through Ultra Age. Still working on my review for that. I have a lot of thoughts on that. And then coming up this week, before Metroid Dread comes out, I'm going to be playing Space Otter Charlie, which is very much in my wheelhouse because Galatrad the Otter Knight. And it's about a little otter platforming in space, so that'll be fun.
Nice. LeRon, what have you been playing with Power?
I made a terrible mistake this last month because I was not planning on buying any games. I just wanted to have like a complete like rest period before Metroid came out. And then forgot that Kena Bridge of Spirits came out on PS5. So wound up getting that. And I've been playing that for a little while, but then it kind of broke my promise made and stuff. I wasn't gonna buy any games, right? Screwed around, got Tales of Arise. Playing that, and I'm actually enjoying that. Like, but right now, Kena has like a priority. But I also messed around, and I was like, you know what? This game's like $30. I got ActRaiser as well, ActRaiser Renaissance, and man, it's just as fun as I remember it. And then like the new added stuff is making it interesting, so like, I'm not getting bored of it real easily. And I've got two more, but I'm not going to really talk about them in detail. If you we've been talking about Metal Gear Solid, stuff like that. You guys might want to check out a game called Unmetal. It's actually on the eShop right now. I think it's $20 in the eShop right now because I got the PC version. It is basically NES Metal Gear. Yeah, it's NES Metal Gear. Like, but just think of it. Just think of Metal Gear meets like Tropic Thunder, or Metal Gear meets Hot Shots.
Okay.
Those movies.
I've been hearing things about it. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, this game. Okay, every bit of dialogue in the game is completely voiceover.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, there's no reading involved if you don't want to read and stuff. I mean, even like like how like a Metal Gear moment is like you lure centuries away and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even those guys have something to say.
Nice.
But the sound design on the game is amazing. So if you want to throw back to like NES style games and stuff like that, but trust me, the eShop is the best place for it.
And what was that called
as far
again?
as that? Unmetal.
Unmetal.
Unmetal. And then I've installed Eastward, but I haven't started yet. So I'm screwed. Like, Metroid comes out this week. That means I got 6 games on my plate.
Hi, Eddie.
I don't know how this happened to me. I don't ever do it like this.
You gotta stop messing around. You messed around, and now you gotta find out.
And the PC demo of Monster Hunter comes out next week.
Yeah.
Of which, hold on, of Rise?
Yep.
I didn't know they was dropping it next week.
Yep. They gotta get feedback.
October 13th.
Oh, that's quick.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Anything else, LeRon, or that's it?
Oh, that's it.
Okay.
that's it.
So I've been playing Streets of Rage 4, just finishing up the survival mode for a lot of my characters. Started Australia Ascending. Got to just play a little bit more, but the art style looks very beautiful. Of course, it's a little bit talky because it's a role-playing game, but I got to play a little bit more to get the story. Still Assault is a game that I'm writing a review for, and I got to say this. It's a great soundtrack. Like, the music is phenomenal in this game. It's only 5 levels, but it tries to be a treasure game, but fails at it spectacularly. And the reason why I say that it fails at it, because there are some things that it has it's an action platformer with a little bit of Bionic Commando added to it, but you can't jump to it. And what happens with it is that it doesn't have good checkpoints. So if you die in a level before you get to the next stage, you have to do all of that over. And if you have a mini boss fight that you have to deal with, you got to do that over again. And so it's it's really frustrating. Um, and the reason why I say it feels like a treasure game. It feels like a Sega Genesis game, uh, but with the Super Nintendo soundtrack of hearing it clear. And this, like I said, the soundtrack is beautiful. Everything else is just like Treasure should have made this game, and it would have been more interesting in a sense. Like you tried to go for a Gunstar hero, and you didn't reach that level. But it's a good game. I say wait for a sale. I'll give out more details when you guys read the review. But the played a little bit more Eastward and finished Boyfriend Dungeon. I have got to say this. This Voice of Cards, the Owl Dragon Wars, the demo, everybody needs to play. If you own a Switch, you need to play this demo. I already said that this demo could be my game of the year, like right now.
Seriously.
It's so good. Like, and you would think that it's a card-based game. It does have some cards, but it's a role-playing game, and it's real easy to get into. It's like it's really addictive, and it's not that hard. It really isn't that hard. And I just feel like, oh, Square Enix, oh, you guys got a hit on your hand. Like, I think, to me personally, this might knock out Tales of Arise for Game of the Year nominations.
Wow.
Because, yeah,
Tales of Arise is actually impressing me. Like, it takes a lot to sell me on a JRPG. So
yeah, but like the soundtrack, the soundtrack. I'm so mad there's no physical version for this. I literally went to Square Enix website and they're not promoting it at all. Like you can't even find it on their store, on American store. So I gotta buy it digitally. I I I sat back, like I said, hearing on my headphones. I was just like, I want this game now. And like when it drops, because I'm like I'll be done with Metroid. When it drops, that'll probably be the only game that I fully play to the end before I get to the rest of everything else. Like this game is addictive and so good. And the last demo I have really been impressed by was the Monster Hunter Rise demo. So I man, and I can't play no more because I finished the whole demo. I did everything, so it's like sitting on my Switch until the full game comes out. And
see, this is why I never played the Project Triangle demo.
You know what?
Because I didn't want that drama in my life. Like like playing that demo, beating it, and then having to wait till March of next year. That demo's been out for like a hot minute.
Right, and that's the kind of thing I didn't want. I did with my Hunter Stories too. I didn't want to play the demo until the game came out.
Oh, there was plenty of time, and I don't think people realize you could. All you had to do was like not accept the last mission. You could have continued playing the game all the way through until the game came out. The demo, I mean.
But I wanted to play it hot and fresh.
I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm just saying.
It's the weirdest part about that is that you downloaded the demo.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Like, I understand not wanting to play the demo because you wanted to play it hot and fresh, but the weirdest part is that you downloaded the demo.
Okay, and the demo took up a chunk of like SD card space too. It wasn't like it was just like a itty bitty portion of the game. Like it was the full first chapter of the game.
I wanted to have it as backup in case anything happens.
Okay, you know what? I do understand that because sometimes they'll come out and be like, after demos are done, they'll be like, oh, by the way, if you played the demo, then you get this in your game, but then they take the demo off of the store. So I see where you're coming from.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Thank you, Jacob.
You're welcome.
But everybody, that has been Nintendo Pow Block. LeRon, go ahead and plug.
Just remember this: Exodus 803, EXODUS 803. That is my social media handle. That's also where you can find me on Twitch and YouTube. That is also my gamer tag, stuff like that. As long as you remember that, you're good to go. Twitch.tv/X's803 Tuesday nights for 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Crossroads, the PlayStation podcast. And also Wednesday nights, come back to Boss Rush Network, Twitch.tv/Boss Rush Network for the Boss Rush podcast. I'm one of the hosts there too as well. We usually start at 8:30 p.m. on Wednesday nights Eastern Standard Time.
All right. Jacob, go ahead and plug.
Yeah, you can find me everywhere on the internet at Galutrad. That's Galutrad.
Yes, and everybody check out his stream that's happening Saturday on his Twitch channel for Metroid Dread. Oh, go ahead.
No, that's right. Thank you for saying that. And also go to Twitter and follow me on Galutrad. Check my pinned tweet because I'm giving away a copy of Metroid Dread for retweeting and following me on Twitter. There's about like 100 people right now who have entered, so your chances are still good. If you're hearing this on Wednesday, the giveaway ends Friday when Metroid Dread comes out. That's when I'll be drawing from that.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's 101 people now because I just.
Okay.
I'm part of the Boss Rush Network. I'm already disqualified.
No, I'm not. I'm not disqualifying anyone. Because I've done a ton of. Usually, I do a 24-hour or a giveaway during my 24-hour live streams, and I promise the amount of times that like I would have assumed that someone that I knew gets it, and it's not. I'm just like, you know what? Everyone's got a fair chance, unless you're like Becca. Like Becca's disqualified because she's my girlfriend. I can just buy it for her. So like that's the only person, right? So yeah, that's the only thing is anyone's fair game. Anyone's fair game. You just got to be following Galutrad on Twitter and retweet that pinned tweet.
All right. Well, guess what? I'm following.
There you go. Yeah, you are.
I'm retweeting that pinned tweet.
Get yourself a free copy of Metroid Dread.
I mean, I've already got it coming, so it might just be another giveaway.
Well, you know what? That'll be. Ed, what about you? Where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at That Retro Code. You can check out Optional Opinion on SoundCloud. New episodes will be dropping soon. And you guys can check me out on Talk the Walk. Our latest episode will be coming soon, where me, Celeste, and David and Stephanie talk about Gree. You guys really have to check that one. It was such a good discussion. We just really talked about that game and just love it and everything. So you guys can check that out. And then go to my Twitch page to get all my information for all the consoles out there and everything. So with that, everybody, and also thank you, Dr. Mario and Pokemon, for letting me rest and helping me get back, returning my hype since I missed last episode, since I had to be with Dr. Mario in his office.
One final thing, because I've been on Galutrad's Twitter right now, and I've just been loving all this Metroid stuff. Like, is it me, or did they take cues off of Mega Man for Samus's new outfit?
Possibly, man. It does.
I'm getting a serious Mega Man vibe.
Yeah, the helmet and everything. It's like a lot more sleek. Than it normally is, so it's quite possible.
Well, everybody, that's it for Nintendo Pow Block. We will see you next time on Nintendo Pow Block. Bye, everybody. Woo-hoo!
Have a good night.